G'day everyone, Master Rabbit back for another Game & Watch gameplay and unboxing video. So today what we've got is Popeye right in front of us right now. Let me go pick this up right now and bring it up in front of the screen. So Popeye was the next Game & Watch in the Widescreen series released by Nintendo from, of course, the Game & Watch series were released by Nintendo from 1980 to 1991. Now I'll go into detail a bit further with this Popeye and give you the details on when it was released and so forth. But with Popeye, let's take a look at the box. It's model number PP-23 Popeye. Okay, so as I've mentioned before, each Game & Watch does go through a series of numbers and a special code. So PP for Popeye, I guess, and the 23. The 6000 I've never been familiar with, but of course the Nintendo 1981, of course that's when Popeye was released, and I will explain that now. So basically Popeye was released on August the 5th, 1981. Okay, so 1981, August the 5th, 1981. Now, Popeye sold in between 250,000 to 1 million units worldwide. Okay, so that was Popeye's release. I thought it would have made a bit more, but because of the popularity of Popeye probably back in the day. But I guess it didn't sell that much units. But it did sell probably about the same as the other two in the series that we've seen before, which were Parachute and Octopus. Okay, so we're going down the line. This is the third one. This is the third Game & Watch in the series of the Widescreen series. Okay, we've already done Parachute, Octopus, and now we're moving into Popeye. Okay, so that is that. Let's move back into, let's open up the box and move forward. So as I was already mentioning, the box, I like to keep him in good shape. The Popeye also has an alarm as always, and as you can see on the front screen there, this one here is like a catching game, very similar to Parachute. But of course you've got Bluto there. He appears on both sides, and you've got Olive Oil throwing little items off the out of the back of the truck for Popeye to catch. All right, so let's take this out. Let's put this on the ground. Let's put this box on the ground. As you said, as you can see, there's also a serial number there too. I'll put that down. All right, so that is the box. It's in very good shape. I like to keep all my Game & Watches in very good shape. All the ones that I have. I do have some old ones which I used to have my own personal collection as well, and they weren't in the best shape. Just to give you a bit of a rundown as well while I take this out, Popeye did have also another two versions. He had like the panorama version and also a tabletop version, and they were two different type of game. Those two were the same type of games. This one is a catching game, which basically you've got to catch the things that Olive Oil drop, which I've already mentioned. And the other two in the panorama series and also the tabletop were like a fighting game, where you had to punch Bluto off a pier, and Olive Oil would throw will kick a little can of spinach across, and then it'll fall down, and then if you catch it, then you can then you get like a bonus animation, and you get like extra bonus points as well in that one. Now, that's not the game we're talking about today. We're talking about Popeye on the widescreen, which is mainly the catching style game, and we'll get to that in a minute. I'll show you how that works. Okay, so as always, I'm going through all the information that you get. Also, this is like instructions on how to set the alarm, how to do the ACL. These ones here are sometimes a little bit rare to find too, so I'm happy that I've got these as well. Unfortunately, they are in Japanese, okay, so we can't do much about it, but if anyone who can speak Japanese can always have a look at that. And as I've already shown you the foam, so I'll put these two down, put them back on the ground. I know the batteries are there too, so I'll just put that up there, and we'll go through the instructions as always. Now, as I mentioned before, prior to my other videos, we are going to get to a couple of English ones, but at the moment this one here is another Japanese version of Popeye, which basically of course was released in Japan on August the 5th, 1981, as I mentioned before. Okay, so as you can see here, the serial number here, sorry, I said series, serial number is PP-23, and all the information there on the screen, as you saw on the main screen of the box, the instructions moving across. So as you know, all the Game & Watches were released in between a time period of 1980 to 1991. They did sell across basically 43 1.4 million units worldwide. That's in total, of course. And there were approximately like over 50 different type of Game & Watches back in the day. I've got them all, and I will be showing you all of them as I will do my best and go through them slowly. I know that I normally try and release these Game & Watch videos once a week. And I'll try and do sometimes maybe a bit earlier, a bit more. But yeah, as you can see, this is just the instructions going through all the different options. Of course, you got game A, you got game B. That's the ACL reset screen, and you will see that once I put the batteries in on the one I have. I'll bring that back out, and that's also explaining the ACL, the time, and all that information as well. And as I'm also explaining, the game in this information, oh sorry, here we'll get to the alarm, and as you can see, olive oil here will ring the alarm. And as I always mention, every Game & Watch has a different character ringing the alarm. Okay, so you can set the alarm for AM or PM, and when you do press the alarm, I'll show you that too, that you've got to have that little alarm bell showing. Otherwise, it will not show. Okay, so as always, you also got the time and information that you can put in. Game A is a little bit easier, and I'll explain it to you quickly. Game A, basically, you have Bluto, who is located in only one location, which is on the left. You'll see it. You'll see it on the left. Hang on. I'll explain it to when we get further. Anyway, so game A shows that, and he's only in one location, and you get a reset, which is your time or your misses at 200 and 500 points. With game B, and also the high score, and this is 999, as you can see in red. Okay, in game B, basically Bluto appears on both sides of the game, and he's got a hammer, and he will try and knock you into the water. So that's pretty much how that works, and that's pretty much Popeye. It's mainly, like I mentioned, a catching game. So you've got to catch everything that falls into before it falls into the water. Okay, so here is also the batteries, how you put them in. As you know, as I've always been mentioning, the batteries are very simple to put in. But back in the day, people needed to know exactly how it needed to be done. And here is also the best way you can play the game, like on what's 45 degree to 40 degree angle with a 5 degree offset. That's basically what they're trying to let you know there in general. And that's it. So that's basically the instructions. All the information is here, and that is it. Now that's the probably testing screen, the testing page, and that is like another information. And also here is the other games in the series of Widescreen, which we've already gone through. Parachute, we've already gone through Octopus. Soon we'll go through Chef, which is the next one. Then there's Mickey Mouse after that. Okay, so they're showing them in order of what the ones that came out. So basically, as you can see on the screen in front of you, you can see that we've got Octopus, Parachute, Octopus, Chef is next. Then you got Mickey Mouse. So they're moving up in order. Then after that, you've got the world famous Egg, which is probably one of the hardest ones to find. Then we've got Fire, and then we had of course Turtle Bridge, Fire, Attack and Snoopy Tennis. All right, but we can talk about them later. Okay, so I'm taking it out of the plastic. Let's go take a quick look at the at Popeye. Now, as I mentioned, I always try and keep these in good shape. As you can see, there's a brushed nice gold color, brushed metal, which looks really, really nice. So it says widescreen, and it also says King Features Syndicate Inc. I think that was probably maybe someone who they were working with, for example, for Popeye. Because Popeye, I believe, I thought, this is probably one of their first, because then there's Mickey Mouse after that. So this is one of their first Game & Watch series that I believe Nintendo were working with. So if you think about it, this is one of the earliest games that had like a popular character, a movie character included in a Game & Watch, which was pretty cool. All right, so anyway, so let's take a look at the back. Then you got PP-23, of course. You got the rating, the battery, power, if you want to call it. That's what you need, 2 of those type of batteries. 1981, and made in Japan, of course, with a serial number on the back. All right, so let's put the batteries in, as you mentioned, as I've already gone through everything else, I guess. So the batteries, where did I keep them? I keep them in a little safe area. That's when you normally take them out after you don't want to play with your Game & Watch anymore. So let's put that down on the ground, and let's put the batteries in. All right, you'll hear a little clip, because it's like this little clip there. Okay, so that's done. And let's flip him over. Let's go. All right, so that's the reset screen. Okay, so as you can see, there's a time at the top, which is 12 o'clock in the morning, which is midnight. And then you've got all the misses. And as I was mentioning before, on this side here, that's Bluto. Okay, and then Bluto, that's where Bluto appears on game B, and that's also, and this is where only Bluto appears on game A. Okay, now then there's Olive Oil throwing everything, and then there's also the battery. Sorry, not the battery, the bell. Okay, and that's all the different animations that Popeye can see, Popeye can do while playing this game. Okay, so it's very, very easy. And then there's also all the items that fall on the screen, fall down from the screen, fall down into the water, I mean. Okay, so then as I was showing you before, so let's check the time and let's get that sorted. So this side, let's do this side, sorry, the left hand. Left hand side, let's make it like 6 o'clock, or make it 10. Oh, I'm moving into the PM time. Let's go back. Okay, so I'll make it 5. Make it 5. All right, so that's 5. Okay. Now I hope everyone can see it's clearly on the screen. As mentioned, it's going to be put at a different angle. Otherwise, you can also get a bit of shining on my light. And then what I'll do is I'll make it 10 past. Okay, so 5:10 a.m. All right. So once you're ready with that, all you've got to do is then press the time. Okay, so press the time right now, and that will put us into demo mode. Okay, so as you can see right now, Popeye is going to move he's only got 3 different movements. He's got left, middle, and right. Okay. Now, at the moment, you can see right now, this is game B playing because Bluto's moving from one side to the other. And as you can see, something fell into the water too. A can of spinach fell into the water, and Bluto just punched Popeye into the water. So if you do fall into the water with a punch from Bluto, basically that's 1 miss already gone. If 2 pieces of items fall into the water just like now, that's another miss. So basically, the way the game works is that if you have 2 pieces of items that fall into the water, you will have 1 miss. If Bluto hits you straight away, that's an instant miss. Okay, so that's it. So now let's go in and set up the alarm, because I wanted to show everybody how the alarm works. So I've got a pen. I've got like a little pin here, which is like not a pin really, it's a screwdriver. I'll press the alarm. Now you'll keep a look at it over there on Olive Oil's side. Okay, and as you can see, that alarm's there. Okay. All right. So with that, all you've got to do now is set the time. Now, as I mentioned before, I think I set it at 5 a.m. So let's go back to 5. All right. And I think I set it at 5:10. So maybe let's make it 5:12. Okay. That'll give us some time to start talking. And then once you're ready, all you've got to do now is set time. Press the time again. Okay. Now it's 5:11, as you can see. Now the alarm is there. If you want, you can just press it quickly. I don't want to cancel it. So as you can see, that's what time the alarm will go off. And the alarm bell, as you can see there, I'll just bring that little pen over. That's it. So you've got to make sure that alarm is showing, that little bell is showing. Otherwise, the alarm will not work. Okay? It won't go off. So that's one thing you got to take note. Okay? So as you can see, it's 5. There you go. The alarm's gone off. 5:11, and now it's already 5:12. The alarm goes off. And as you can see, Olive Oil, she's doing multitasking right now. She's throwing things out and also ringing the alarm. Just to let you know, the alarm will not play when you're playing the game as well. So just so you know, because you got to be pressing all these buttons at the same time. Okay, so that's the alarm. So basically, what I used to do, for example, I could put the clasp on, sit it on the ground. You can hear it go off. It's quite loud. It's quite loud. So basically, that's what I used to do with all my Game & Watches in the past. Let me just put that back. And I used to keep them sitting on my bedside stand and then set an alarm and let the alarm go off at a certain time in the morning. And then I'd wake up when the alarm goes off. And then when I don't want to hear it anymore, all I've got to do is press the time. And that's what we're going to do right now. Thanks, Olive Oil. Done. Okay. So that is everything before we start the game. Okay, so as I was mentioning before, we've got 2 different games, Game A and Game B, which I've already explained pretty much how everything works. So without further ado, let me get into position and hopefully get the screen in good play and get it. Yeah, that'll do. And we'll start playing the game. Okay, so we'll play Game A first. All right, so as you can see, Bluto is only going to stay in this location. So over here, I'm pretty much safe. I can actually stay like that all the time. And he's always going to be on the left side, which is pretty much under. Oop, there you go. You saw him move his little hammer. So he's got. Oh, look at that perfect time. All right, so basically, yeah, you got to be careful with that little mallet because he basically swings it sometimes about twice in a row. So you got to. That's what I was going to mention. I was going to say, try not to go there too soon. Maybe go in between his swings. That's what I mainly try and do, and I didn't do it too well the first time. Oh, missed. Got that one though. Okay, so as you saw, one can or one item fell into the water, which was a can of spinach, but it can be anything like it could be anything. So basically, you don't want those things to fall in twice, because if you fall in twice, you're going to get a miss as well. Okay, so as I was mentioning before, you don't want to have Bluto hit you into the water, because if he hits you into the water, that's a complete miss instantly. Okay, and the rest of the stuff is you've got like a 2 chance, if you want to call it, before they drop and you get a miss. Okay, every item you pick up is worth 1 point. And as you can see, olive oil throws down things pretty quickly. And as you know, I believe anyone that's watched my parachute video, it pretty much works that same way. So items are throwing down instead of people coming off a parachute out of that plane in the wearing a parachute. Works the same way. So as you can see, items are dropped down in a very similar style and technique, if you want to call it like movement. So you can always get used to. Ah, God, missed it. Oh, I would have nearly lost it straight away. So you got to just get used to the way the formation of items that fall down. It's like a sequence, if you want to call it. It's pretty much what I was trying to say. Maybe like a sequence. You got to just get used to the way these items fall. And as you know, that the bottle, for example, the bottle will end up falling closer, and that means it's got a less time before it can land into the water. And I just made a mistake. So as you can see, things are also speeding up. And once you get to 100, things start slowing down. As you've basically been seeing, I know I've been talking a lot. And once it gets to 100, the items will slow down a little bit, but they will still continue to pick up once it gets close to 100 again. Okay, so as you can see right now, if I can get to 200, I can clear my misses. But then I've also got to be careful, because I'm pretty much on my last legs right now. Anything that falls into the water right now will end the game. And I've also got to be careful of Bluto not knocking me into the water. And he was about to do it. So you know, Bluto normally has a swing twice. He could randomize it, but normally it's about 2 swings. And he just got me. All right, that was perfect anyway. So I got to 135 on game A. Okay, so if I did make it to 200, it would reset. And if I got to 500, it would reset all my misses as well. Okay, so that is game A. Now, as you know, you can see that Bluto only appeared on the left-hand side. Okay, so let's press A. No, sorry, let's press time. That'll take us back here. Okay. And now, when we're ready, we can start playing game B. So game B, as I mentioned, items will drop quicker, okay, and Bluto will appear on both sides. So without further ado, let's get going. Now, as you know, Bluto will move now. You will see him, he'll disappear from here, and he will appear over there. So there you go, right now. Now, you got to be careful, because you can see that swing. He's got a punt, he's got his fist ready to throw. There you go, he just did it. Now, he does the same thing. He tries to hit twice with a mallet or twice with his fist. Okay, so that's it. Now everything else pretty much works the same way, so you've just got to make sure that you learn the sequences of when things drop and how far they drop. Oop, gotta be careful, punch me there, sir. Okay, and you just gotta time the way the items fall from the screen, and because each one has their distance. And as you can see, the can will appear first, will travel the longest before it lands, but it all depends. You just got to time it correctly. And as you can see, that's all you've got to do. So it's not too hard. Oh, I just made a mistake there. A bad one too. All right, so that's it. So you just got to make sure, as I was mentioning about the sequences and moving, make sure that you count the right thing, and you know, position yourself in the right place. I just made a mistake. So yeah, apart from that, that's it. So you can see that every item has its own path, and you've just got to make sure that you're in the right path at the right time and get everything that drops at the same time. Ooh, that was close. So yeah, and as I was mentioning before, oh no, that was a big mistake. I thought he would have swung right. Oh, get out of the way. I think Bluto loves punching Popeye, so it's always fun to see Bluto give him a bit of a punch, throw him into the water. But yeah, this one here, as mentioned before, as mentioned, that was a close one. As mentioned before, this one here is a catching game, and the ones that were released in the panorama version, which hopefully I will show you in other videos that I release. For the panorama, it was a punching game where you had Popeye and Bluto fighting on a pier, and he punches him back until he falls into the water, and if you get the spinach. That was like one of the bonus ones. Gives them a nice big punch. Yeah, so anyway, this is it. As you can see, it's getting closer to 100 now. Items start moving a bit faster. Actually doing quite better in game B than game A. But yeah, so this is how this one works. So you just got to make sure that you just dodge the punches, get out of the way, catch everything, and try. If you do get to 200, you'll get the reset as well. Alright, so as you saw, we just got to 100 and it slowed down a little bit. And, yeah, I won't make any noise and see if you can hear anything. I won't make any noise, I won't talk, because I know sometimes I'm talking too much. Okay, so the sound's very simple, very straightforward. You know, it's like, buck, buck, buck. Doing pretty good, gonna beat my high score from game A. So I'm doing quite well. So yeah, so that's pretty much everything with game A and game B. Just gotta make sure that you don't get punched in the head with Bluto on either side, or just hit with a mallet on the left. And as I was mentioning before, 2 items that fall into the water will end the game. Will give you a miss, and 1 punch will give you a 1 punch in the head, or a hit in the head with a mallet. Oh, just lost another one right now. Yeah, so that's it. Let's try and let's see if we can get. No, oh, that was close. Yep, got me. Oh, that's it. Got to I got to 149. All right, that is it. That is gameplay for Popeye. So yeah, so game B is a little bit harder, as you can see. I actually did quite well in game B, considering game A only got about 130. So yeah, game B is a little bit harder, but it's a bit more of a challenge. I always recommend playing it on game A first, just getting a bit of an understanding on how the game works, and then have a bit more challenge and play game B. Popeye was a really fun game. This was one of the games I also had when I was a kid, and a lot of my friends also had this one too. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I just want to thank you everyone for watching. If you have any questions regarding Popeye, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified of any new videos that I create on my channel, and I will see you guys soon. Now, what will I be seeing you guys soon with? I'll put Popeye down. Let's move that flag out of the way, and I will see you soon for Chef, which was quite popular back in the day. I believe that Chef actually sold over 1 million units worldwide. So you want to know why? tune in next time, and I'll show you why. So that's going to be next. That's going to be Chef, and that is it. So thanks once again for watching, guys. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.